Imagine this moment. You're standing in a room with two babies. One baby gets passed from person to person, their eyes blinking at all the light, dealing with the sound, maybe even grinning while it happens. People around them laugh and say, "This baby's so calm." Right nearby, another baby's whole body goes stiff the second a new person shows up. Their hands open up real quick. The way they're breathing shifts. The noise seems like too much. When someone touches them, it feels a second longer than they can handle. And then they start crying like something's actually broken. Right after that happens, the grown-ups around them start talking. "Oh, this one's pretty chill," they say. "That one's trouble," they say. "This one's a dream," they say. "That one's going to be hard to deal with," they say. But what if they're telling it wrong? What if the baby that everyone thinks is easy isn't just better at handling things because the parents did such a good job? And what if the baby that everyone thinks is difficult isn't just spoiled or dramatic or making trouble on purpose? What if there's something way deeper happening underneath all these labels? Not about how they're acting, not about them trying to make things hard, not about bad habits they've picked up. It's actually about how their brain and body are meeting the world for the very first time. That's the thing most people don't see. Because when you watch a baby cry or react, it looks like an emotion thing on the surface. But really, a lot of the time it's coming from how their brain is working. The crying, the sudden, startling, how they cling to people, how they fight when you try to put them down. This baby who can sleep anywhere, even with noise, that baby who wakes up from a whisper, the one who smiles at people they don't even know, the one who buries their head in your chest like the room is way too much. These things don't just show you how the baby acts. They show you how the baby's mind is handling what's going on. And once you really see that, the whole idea of an easy or difficult baby starts to shift. It makes sense that people think this way. If one baby gets calm faster, sleeps on a schedule, adjusts to new stuff more easily, and cries without getting super intense, of course, the grown-ups around them feel like this baby is easier. And if another baby seems to notice everything, gets upset quickly, falls apart because of hunger or noise or light, or because something changed all of a sudden, or because there's a stranger, or because you put them down at the wrong time, of course, that feels harder. But harder for the adult doesn't mean something's actually wrong with the baby. That difference really matters. A long time ago, two scientists named Alexander Thomas and Stella Chess watched children grow up and became known for talking about different ways babies naturally are. Their work helped people start using words like easy, difficult, and slow to warm up. But the real important thing from what they found wasn't those labels. It was understanding that babies don't come into the world the same. They come with differences already there. Different in how strong they react, how quick they adapt, their sleep patterns, what it takes to bother them, their mood, how much they notice things. In other words, babies aren't empty at the start with brains that all work the same, just waiting for parents to teach them everything. From early on, some babies react more to changes, get more interested in new things, get thrown off easier by too much happening around them, and get more upset when something bothers them. Other babies don't shake as easy, go with the flow better, calm down faster, or just don't overwhelm so quick. That's not saying parenting doesn't matter. It actually matters a ton, but it means they're not starting from the same place. And that's something that helps a lot of parents because so many carry guilt quietly. Why does my baby seem harder than everyone else's? Am I doing something wrong? The answer sometimes isn't that you caused this sensitivity. Sometimes you're raising a baby whose brain and body pick up everything more intensely. This gets even more interesting when you look at what other scientists found. A researcher called Jerome Kagan studied tiny babies who reacted really hard to things they'd never seen before, new sounds and new smells. Some babies moved their legs more, cried more, arched their backs more, jumped at sudden things more. He called a lot of these babies high-reactive. As time went on, some of those kids ended up being more careful or holding back when they saw something new. That doesn't mean their whole life was decided already. It wasn't. But it does mean that what grown-ups usually call fussy can actually be the start of a brain system that spots changes super quick and answers back really hard. Think about how big that shift in thinking is. A baby who loses it when the room gets loud might not be weak. A baby who cries when a stranger picks them up might not be unfriendly. A baby who fights sudden changes might not be stubborn. That baby might just be taking in more stuff, faster, and without a filter blocking it. And on the flip side, a baby who takes changes in stride might not be more emotionally strong or better in some way. Their system might just not react as much right then. It's better at handling things. It can take in more before getting upset. Neither baby is better. They're just wired different. And that difference isn't just about how they act. It's in their body. A baby's brain is still building itself in really important ways. The pieces that help them calm themselves down are still being put together. The parts of the brain that'll help them settle down later, move their attention to something else, and handle feelings are still growing. So when a baby gets overwhelmed, they don't just decide to feel better. They need help from someone else. That's why the first years of life are all about relationships. Babies borrow the ability to stay calm before they learn to do it on their own. The voice you use, your face, your hands on them, when you do things, how you move with them, how you pick them up, how you wait a moment, how you notice they're getting more upset before it turns into a complete meltdown. All of this is working silently on how their brain and body work. And this is when another wrong idea falls apart. Lots of people think that the easy baby is proof the parents know what they're doing, and the easy baby is doing great, while the difficult baby is somehow refusing to listen to good care. But what scientists who study how babies bond with their parents found is way more complicated. Mary Ainsworth's work on how babies attach to their parents showed that babies who feel safe and loved aren't the ones who never cry. When babies feel safe and loved, they actually do get upset if their person leaves. They care that their person is gone. They let you know. And when the person they love comes back, they're more likely to use that relationship to feel better. That really matters, because a crying baby usually gets seen as proof that something's going wrong. Sometimes it's actually proof that something's really important. A baby who cries when you walk away isn't judging your work. That baby is showing you that their brain already knows you help them feel calm. And a baby who reacts really hard to you not being there, or to you acting different, might be telling you how seriously their growing brain thinks about having you there for them. Experiments where a parent suddenly stops reacting and stays blank made this super clear. When someone they care about suddenly stops being warm and caring, even for a moment, babies see it. They try to get them back. They get more upset. They say something's wrong. They're not just lying there in their own world not paying attention. They're looking around, paying attention, reaching out, needing someone. So when a baby starts acting tough to handle, one hidden thing to wonder is, what shifted around them? Was it too loud? Was there too much going on that's new? Was there no warning before something changed? Did they not get enough touch or closeness? Did you miss a moment when you could have helped? Did their body go from tired to too much in just a few minutes? What looks like it came out of nowhere often has a pattern. What seems personal is often about how their body's working. What seems like they're going overboard is often their brain saying, "This is more than I can take." That, to me, is one of the biggest shift in thinking about how babies grow up. A baby that's called difficult often isn't showing you a harder personality. They're showing you clearer information. And. They're telling you sooner, louder, and more straight up. When something feels like it's not working, and yes, that can be tiring, really tiring, but it can also build something special. Because a baby who reacts hard to everything often pushes grown-ups to pay closer attention. You start picking up on the tiny signs. The stare that means too much is coming. The yawn that's not about being sleepy, but about stress. The slight head turn before they start crying. How they want to be bounced in exactly one way to feel better, and how a different bounce makes it worse. So, some of the babies we call difficult are actually making us get really good at reading how a human brain and body work. There's one more important thing, and it's a big one. An easy baby can be misread too, not because calm is made up, but because quiet babies sometimes get treated like they need less. Less help calming down, less talking and playing with them, less checking on them. They seem okay, so grown-ups think they are okay. But every baby, even the chill ones, builds their brain by going back and forth with someone, by being noticed, by looking at things together, by having someone who cares there. So the real question isn't which baby is better. It's whether the grown-ups around them get who this baby really is. Thomas and Chess used a phrase for this: goodness of fit. This phrase should be way more famous than it is. Goodness of fit means how a child grows depends not just on what the child is like, and not just on what's around them, but on how well they go together. A baby who gets upset easily put in a fast, loud, crazy, overstimulating place might look more and more distressed. The same baby in a calmer, more in-tune place might look completely different. Not because who they are changed, but because the place stopped fighting with how they're wired. And a baby who's more flexible might do okay in lots of places, but still needs someone tuned in and caring to do their best. This is why using those labels can hurt so much. If a baby gets labeled difficult, grown-ups can start handling them with worry before the baby even does anything. They get tense, move fast, do too much, get their feelings hurt by the crying. The whole thing gets messed up by what they expect. But if that same baby is seen as sensitive, easily overwhelmed, reacting hard, or needing more time to adjust, the grown-up changes. The room changes. How fast things happen changes. Suddenly there's more time before switches happen, more help, more space to come back from being upset, less judging. And that can change the whole relationship. Because how they naturally are is real, but what happens next isn't decided. A baby who reacts really strongly isn't stuck being in pain forever, with lots of times of being helped to calm down by someone else, knowing what comes next, and being fixed when things go wrong. The brain learns. Not perfectly, not overnight, but slowly. This is one of the quiet, amazing parts of growing up. Getting help from outside to feel calm becomes something they can do on their own over time. The baby isn't just having moments. The baby is building ways of handling things, and those ways become part of how they move through the world. But there's an important thing to think about. Not every baby who reacts hard is just spirited, and not every easy baby should be seen as doing great automatically. Patterns say more than one time something happens. What you want to look for is change. Can the baby feel better with help, even if it takes a bit? Do they have times when they're calm and aware? Do they look at voices, faces, touch, and the same sounds and movements they know? Do they slowly get more okay with things they see over and over, even if it's slow? Is there a way they work that you can figure out? Or does nothing seem to work? If a baby seems to always have trouble settling, barely connects with anyone, loses skills they already had, has eating or sleeping that's so hard that their growing in everyday life is being really hurt, or if you keep getting a feeling that this is bigger than just who they naturally are, that's worth paying real attention to. Not like something's wrong, just like you're getting important information. Because babies don't cry and act without reason. It's information about how their brain system is building itself. And maybe the biggest message here is, about this baby right in front of you, is not just being easy or difficult. That baby is showing you how their brain spots new things, how their body takes in what's around them, how quick they get upset, how much they need someone to help them stay calm, how hard they call out for help, and how they're starting to take in the world itself. You're not just stopping moods, you're taking care of a brain that's just starting out. So next time someone looks at a baby and says, "She's so chill," or "He's so fussy," it might help to hear what they really mean. This baby can take a lot of stuff going on around them. This baby gets overwhelmed by less. This baby changes when things are different pretty quick. This baby needs time to adjust. This baby can handle a bunch before they let you know. This baby tells you right away when the world is too much. None of that is small, and none of it is set in stone. Sometimes the baby who cries about everything is the baby who'll notice everything later. The kid who reads what's happening in a room really quick. The one who feels things deeply. The one who needs time before they trust you, but once they know they're safe, they connect with you in a huge way. Sometimes the easy baby grows into someone who brings calm into every place they go. The thing isn't to make one sound amazing and the other sound bad. The thing is to really see both of them. Because when you stop asking, "Why is this baby so hard?" and start asking, "What is this baby's brain trying to tell me?" something shifts. There's less blaming yourself, less shame, less fear that you're doing it all wrong, and more wanting to understand, more knowing exactly what they need, more being kind about it. What seemed like a problem starts to seem like the baby's way of talking. What seemed crazy starts to seem like it makes sense. What seemed like just their personality starts to show you growth happening right now. And for someone taking care of a baby, that shift is huge. It means normal stuff stops being normal. The cry in the grocery store. The baby who can't take being held by lots of people. The one who only gets calm when they're against your body. The one who shocks everyone by sleeping through noise. The one who breaks down right when the sun goes down every night. None of it is meaningless. It's a brain that's still growing, showing what it can do before it has words to say it. If this made you think about a baby you know in a new way, I'd love to hear which thing the baby does that makes sense to you now. And if you like this kind of real, research-based way of looking at the little things babies do, follow, because there's a lot more hidden in these small things that most people never see.